Hello guys, I'm back. Today I'll talk to you about how to identify the substance group if you are dealing with hazard area classification. My name is Jeferson Costa and I teach students, graduates and engineers how to work with chemical process engineering and plant design. Follow my profile and like this video to get hundreds of contents related to chemical process engineering plant design. And this question came from my LinkedIn profile. So this is the question. Ethylene oxide will be considered in class B and group 2C both. So let's verify how we can solve that. The chemical process engineer in plant design not necessarily will be responsible for the development of the hazard area classification map, but in any way, the chemical process engineer will need to support the professional responsible for this activity. That can be the electrical engineer or most often the process safety engineer. The chemical process engineer will define or will inform for the others disciplines or for the person responsible for the hazard area classification where is the source of flammable gases and also what are the characteristics of these or those flammable gases. The hazard area classification can be frustrating because there are different standards around the world that uses different nomenclature to do the classification of the hazard area. For instance, if we are talking about European market, we have the ATEX. And the code to do the specification for electrical electronics devices is different than the standard for the global market from the IECEx. So in the IECEx, you can see that the code for specifying electrical and electronic components is different from the ATEX European. And that is different than the NEC CEC North American codes or standard, where we can use the division system that is classified or is organized in class, divisions, groups, and temperature, or in zone systems where we have the class, zone, and other information for the electronic and electrical equipment specification. Verify that the zone system in North America standard is optional for the US, but it is recommended for new installations in Canada. So based on that, depending on to where you are developing the engineering documentation, you must do your hazard areas classification accordingly. Even though I am in a design company in Brazil, but if my industrial plant will be installed in Europe, I need to comply with the European code. If you are in India and you are developing a project for the US, you need to comply with the US code. And because of that, you must be alert or familiar with the codes of your country and also the codes of from where the project will be installed. There are some companies that let available charts where we can find the correspondence between the standards. For instance, this chart here from WEG, WEG is a Brazilian company, we can find a summary related to the standards related to NEC, ATEX, IEC, and etc. So based on that, we can now answer the following question: what is the group of ethylene oxide? Or we are talking about groups, we are talking about class, we are talking about division systems, zone systems. So how we can identify or classify the ethylene oxide? To start with, as I told you, the classification will depend on what is the code or the standard that is being used. Is it ATEX or IECEx or it is North America? If you are talking about European code or international code, the ethylene oxide will be inside the category of ethylene. So in this way, I will classify this substance as group 2P. If I'm talking about North America for gases and vapors, I have class 1, And for ethylene oxide, if I am using the division system, I will identify ethylene oxide as group C. However, if I am in Canada doing a new project, instead of using group C, I can identify ethylene oxide as group, or I can identify it as substance 2B. Interesting to mention that the zone system applied in North America for new projects matches with the information that we have in the international system or European system. You can verify that we have 2A for propane is the same 2A in North America zone system. Besides that, if we read the note number 3, it tells us that equipment with gas group marking 2C covers also the groups 2A and 2B. And that is true because you can see that the hydrogen and acetylene has a much lower power of ignition. So based on that, if I have equipment able to handle hydrogen and acetylene, I can use these equipment to handle propane and ethylene because they are less flammable than hydrogen and acetylene. So now we can return to the question and have the correct answer. And just to remind you the question, ethylene oxide will be considered in class B and group 2C, but the first answer is no, the ethylene oxide will not be considered in class B because there is no class B when we are talking about North America standard. The classes are class 1, 2, and 3. But when we are considering the divisions, if we are talking about division system, the ethylene oxide will be classified as group C. And if we are talking about zone system, the ethylene oxide will be classified as 2B. So the classification of the substance ethylene oxide will depend on the standard that are being used. For division system, group C, to zone system, 2B. So guys, with this, we finished this review. And if you want to have access to the PDF that I just shared with you, that I used as reference for this presentation, you can join my in process Telegram channel. The description is in the link is in the description of this video. But first, I will ask you to have in this video at least 100 likes or 100 comments. Based on that, I will let this PDF available for you there. So guys, this is it. I hope you like it, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.